Right now, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump are back on the campaign trail, fresh off of last night's debate. Speaking to supporters in Virginia, Mr. Trump wasted no time blasting his opponent's highly criticized debate performance.
Crooked Joe Biden spent the entire week at Camp David resting, working, studying. He studied very hard. He studied so hard that he didn't know what the hell he was doing.
I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth.
President Biden spoke at this rally in North Carolina, vowing to stay in the race. Despite that rally reset, experts say President Biden is facing an uphill battle following last night's debate. CBS 2's Sabrina Franza spoke with a political expert, and Sabrina, he's saying this is going to be a challenge for Biden heading into the DNC here in Chicago.
Erica, the difference between those two rallies that you just saw and the debate last night was the debate was aired across the country. Everyone was watching. Some Democrats and experts say the Democratic Party is panicking.
They're wondering what are they going to do to convince everybody else that it was just a bad night.
Stephen Maynard Caliendo, a professor of political science at North Central College.
How can they get this particular candidate ready to be competitive in November? And how can they convince people that what they saw last night was an aberration, not a sign of things to come?
The aftermath has left some within the Democratic Party wondering if another candidate might be a better choice for the presidential nominee, a change which would be legal and permissible so long as delegates who will be at the DNC choose to vote for someone else, a move that would take the choice away from voters.
We're not in a place where we can have primaries at this point, and the people won't be able to weigh in.
On a possible short list, current Vice President Kamala Harris, U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg, Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, who said last night that he would, quote, never turn his back on Biden, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, who would only say in part, quote, the contrast between these two men was clear before the debate. It is even clearer now. He would not answer questions about a new nominee.
Has there been any conversation among delegates about that?
You know, there has not. But again, I think that we have to wrap our arms around our president, give him the energy that he needs to be able to bring this home in November.
Alderman Lamont Robinson represents Chicago's 4th Ward. He's also a staunch supporter of the president, a delegate himself at the convention in August.
I mean, it's going to take folks like myself, that's an elected, to be able to galvanize folks.
There is another scheduled debate for September 10th. That's, of course, after the conventions. Live in the control room, Sabrina Franza, CBS 2 News.
All right, Sabrina, thank you.